Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into Erode District in Tamil Nadu, India. Our sources show it's more than just a place on the map. It's a real hub connecting ancient trade, think Roman times, right up to today's global markets.
Exactly. Our mission today is to kind of weave together the history, the geography, and the economy of Erode. We've got a lot to work with: archaeological finds, those important geographical indications, the GI tags. We want to figure out what makes Erode tick, really.
And you get a sense of its, let's say, complex character straight away. I mean, it used to be called Periyar District until 1997. That's a huge clue, right? Naming the largest district in the state at the time after Periyar, the social reformer E.V. Ramasamy. It signals some deep roots in politics and maybe even revolution.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely sets the scene for a place with a significant past. And to really get that, we have to go way back, way before Periyar. We're talking deep history.
Vanakkam, welcome to South Indian Districts Network. This is Districts Voice Erode English Podcast, your trusted source for the local pulse, culture and commerce of the region. Proudly created, developed and powered by Victory Ads, your AI digital marketing partner. Today we are talking about overview of Erode District.
Like the archaeological site Kodumanal, right on the Noyal River banks. Sources show civilization there stretching back to the 4th century BCE. Imagine that.
Okay, 4th century BCE, that's quite something. And Kodumanal pops up in Sangam literature later, around the 1st century CE, described as this busy industrial and trade spot. But the really mind-blowing part, for me anyway, is the evidence Roman coins found nearby showing it was part of that massive ancient Roman trade network.
That's the connection. It wasn't some isolated place. It was plugged into the Mediterranean world thousands of years ago. That probably gave it an early industrial edge. And, over the centuries, everyone wanted a piece of Erode. You had the Cheras during the Sangam period, then the Pandyas, and then the powerful medieval Cholas. They even called the region Adhirasarasa Mandalam at one point.
Adhirasarasa Mandalam. Sounds pretty impressive. Suggests it was quite important to them. And the story continues, right? Hoysalas, Vijayanagar Empire, the Kingdom of Mysore, until the British East India Company annexed it in 1799. It even played a big role in the Second Polygar War in 1801. Dhiran Chinnamalai, the freedom fighter, was active there. So yeah, ancient trade and modern resistance.
That mix of commerce and conflicts definitely shaped the place. But speaking of names, let's look at Erode itself. The sources give us two main theories, and they almost perfectly capture that duality. We're seeing one very practical, the other quite spiritual.
Right. The practical one makes sense. Erode, meaning two streams, because the main town sits between these two water channels, the Purumpalam Odai and the Checker and Palam Odai. Locals call them Odais.
And the other one, the spiritual explanation, is Ira Odu, that translates to wet skull. It's linked to a local deity, Kapalizwar. It's just fascinating how the origin story itself gives you these two sides, the functional geography and this powerful, almost primal religious identity.
And that duality is totally visible today in Erode's economy. It's a powerhouse, really standing on two huge pillars: agriculture and textiles. This is where you see its modern clout, especially with these branded protected products.
Oh, the agriculture is massive. They call Erode Turmeric City for a reason. It's the #1 producer in Tamil Nadu. We're talking about 43% of the entire state's turmeric production coming from this one district.
Wow, 43%. So Erode isn't just a producer. It basically is the source for almost half the state's turmeric. That kind of dominance, that focus on quality, that's exactly why Erode turmeric got that official geographical indication, the GI tag.
Exactly. That GI tag protects its reputation and quality. But it's not just turmeric.
Wait, before we continue, are you still searching for the best local spots? This segment of District Voice is proudly powered by the Erode District Places app. It's not just a guide. It's your official comprehensive local directory. Find the history, the best hotels, the latest news and exclusive business listings for Erode right in your pocket. Stop searching, start discovering. Download the Erode District Places app now for free on the Play Store and join the local revolution. We'll be right back with the rest of our Erode analysis.
Erode is also a major player in plantain, coconuts, and this is important, white silk production for the state. And that naturally leads us into the second pillar, textiles.
Right, the textiles. It's a huge sector there. Handlooms, power looms, ready-made garments, the whole spectrum. The scale is just immense. You've got something like, nearly 49,000 handlooms and 39,000 power looms running in the district?
It's enormous. And just like the turmeric, the textile side has its own GI tag too. The Pavani Jamakalam. That's for the unique carpets and bedspreads made in Pavani. It really shows how Erode excels at both ends, growing the raw stuff and making high-value finished goods.
It also shows they're not stuck in the past. The sources mention Gobichettapalayam in the district, having one of India's first automated silk reeling units. So it's traditional craft meeting modern high-tech manufacturing.
And underpinning all this activity, you've got a whole ecosystem of other industries. Over 450 oil mills, lots of rice mills, food processing units, leather goods. Erode's industrial reputation is clearly built on diversity, but layered on top of those two core strengths, agriculture and textiles.
But none of this happens without the right geography, right? Especially the water. We should probably talk about the rivers that are so crucial to this landlocked district, sitting sort of near the middle of the Indian Peninsula.
The water's everything. It's the lifeblood for that intense farming we talked about. You have the Kaveri River flowing along the eastern side, and near the town of Pavani, it meets its main tributary, the Pavani River. That confluence is a really significant spot, locally known as Dakshina Prayagai, the Prayag of the South.
Comparing it to Prayag in the north,
Yeah.
that tells you how sacred or important that meeting of rivers is considered.
Absolutely. And this water isn't just flowing freely, it's carefully managed for irrigation. You've got major dams like Pavanisagar and Kodiveri Dam. These feed huge canal networks. The Kalingarang Canal, for instance, is 90 kilometers long. These canals are engineering feats that make Erode's agricultural success possible.
Geographically, it's also interesting how the district kind of sits where the eastern and western Ghats mountain ranges meet, over in the west, which kind of naturally brings us from industry and farming over to, conservation.
Right. And that brings us to the Sathyamangalam Tiger Reserve, the STR. It's huge. It's the biggest protected area in Tamil Nadu, a key part of the larger Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. And crucially, it supports one of India's largest populations of Indian elephants and also Bengal tigers.
So think about that contrast. Erode is producing high-value turmeric and textiles for the market. And at the same time, it's providing this vital safe haven for some of India's most endangered and iconic wildlife that really underlines its national importance on multiple levels.
Yeah, it's quite the mix. And for anyone listening who wants to explore this, there are places to see both sides. Famous temples like Banari Amman and Sangameswar, but also the Volode Bird Sanctuary.
Okay, just a quick note on how it's run. Administratively, the district's split into two divisions, Erode and Gobichettapalayam, and then into 10 smaller units called taluks. And it seems like it's still growing, with plans for 2 new municipalities, Govindapadi and Purundurai.
And now let's maybe pivot to the intellectual side, the people who've come from Erode. This adds another really significant layer to its identity.
Yeah, some really famous names here. This is where the mathematical genius Srinivasa Ramanujan was born. And also E.V. Ramasamy Periyar, the social reformer we mentioned earlier, the one the district was named after. Plus the freedom fighter Tiruchinnamalai, who we touched on with the Polygar Wars, and even K. Bhagyaraj, the actor and director.
It is striking, isn't it, that the same place, famous for producing almost half the state's turmeric, also produces these incredible minds in maths, social reform, and revolution. If you tie it all together, Erode's success, its economic strength, its cultural depth seems deeply linked to its unique geography. Especially that confluence of the Kaveri and Pavani rivers. Locals even add a third, invisible river, the Amuthanadi, calling the spot Pavani Mukudal the triple confluence. Maybe that's the perfect symbol. 3 powerful streams feeding the district its history, its economy, and its, let's say, intellectual fire.
I like that metaphor. The confluence capturing its identity. We've seen the two sides of Erode today. The ancient marketplace connected to Rome, visible in those codominal finds, and the modern economic giant, known for its GI tag turmeric and textiles. So let's leave you with this thought to chew on. What's the secret ingredient here? Beyond the fertile soil and the river water, what allows a district to be both the turmeric city and the home ground for minds like Ramanujan and Periyar? Maybe it's something about that persistent mix, ancient roots, geographic crossroads, a history of questioning things. Perhaps that's the real source of Erode's enduring power. Something to think about.
That concludes today's District Voice Erode episode. We hope you gained valuable insights into the heart of the Kongu region. Ready for your next step? Don't let the conversation end here. Install the Erode District Places app and continue the discussion with all our local data at your fingertips. This episode was proudly brought to you by Victory Ads, your AI digital marketing partner. Follow the District Voice channel wherever you listen and visit erodedistrict.com for full transcripts. Join us next time for more District Voice.